So, Jim, which of these two films, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster or Twice Dead, do you prefer?
Ooh, I think I'd have to go with Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. Just because, I mean, who doesn't like watching idiots in rubber suits hitting each other for...
Hey, we don't know if they're idiots or not. Those might be very intelligent people.
But yeah, I don't know. It was just fun to watch. Those types of monster movies, specifically the Godzilla ones, are always kind of funny and schlocky, and I like that. Again, I liked Twice Dead, but you can't beat a fucking flying three-headed dragon shooting lightning out of its mouth, tearing up
Not
city.
even a film directed by a dragon.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, I prefer it. I think it's a good monster movie, good Godzilla movie. Not the best, one of the better ones. I thought the human plots were more interesting than I was expecting them to be. I thought the end fight was as satisfying as those tend to be. You know, I mentioned I wish we could have seen more of Ghidorah destruction to really hammer in how threatening he is, but I still think the film communicated that pretty well through the Prophet. I enjoy that movie quite a bit. It's a good B-plus Godzilla movie. You know, there's only one A-plus Godzilla movie. There's a few A's, A-minuses. Mothra vs. Godzilla is an A. Shin Godzilla is an A. This is a good B-plus.
This has been, I think, out of all the Godzilla movies other than the first one, this might be my favorite. Or maybe even like, what was the one where Godzilla fell into a pit? I really liked that.
That was King Kong vs. Godzilla. Oh, yeah. That's schlock. That's schlock, although Godzilla, for the most part, isn't schlock. They make King Kong schlock in that movie.
I really liked that one, too.
Anthropomorphize King Kong in that film. But yeah, Jim, how do you think this stacks up as a drive-in double feature? These two movies, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, followed by Twice Dead.
I think they stack up pretty well, because I think that they're both, I mean, pretty silly, really. But they're both played very seriously.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think either films are as silly as you say they are. I think there's inherent silliness to any kind of kaiju movie with the giant rubber costumes. And then there's that one scene, which is very silly with the where Godzilla's swearing like a sailor, rejecting Mothra, apparently based on the translations. Yeah, and I don't think Twice Dead is that silly. Like, it's...
But there's a lot of silly things in it.
Oh, it's for me, it was really just the electrocution scene. I thought that scene was just
even just
absurd.
Like ridiculous things like fucking like
I thought that scene would have been easier to take seriously if it was like an eighth of the length of it.
Yeah.
But again, they needed as much Charlie Spradling as they could, so I enjoyed it. But yeah, it was absurd.
Yeah, well, I mean, even stuff like riding a motorcycle into a house, running a motorcycle train on a mannequin.
That's classic punk stuff.
Having a ghost...
They're bad boys.
Having a ghost load a shotgun and throw it into the hands of a lead punk. Yeah. But yeah, I just think both were kind of silly, but they were played very straight. I guess that's really it. That's probably the only reason why I think it's good, because they both made me laugh, because I think that they're both silly.
Well, I'll one-up you then, because I think it's a good double feature as well, but specifically... I am highlighting the B stories. I think these are both films that the A story itself might not make these like great movies. I think the Ghidorah one makes it closer, but the B story enhances it. And here I'm referring to the A story with Twice Dead being the ghost story, because I think that's what it's really supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be a ghost story.
Yeah.
But I think the punks end up taking up a lot more time, and I think they're more interesting. In the B story with Ghidorah, it's not necessarily more interesting than the monster fighting, but it's interesting. This weird princess being possessed by a Venusian alien that doesn't have a body, and all that stuff is fun, and it's weird. But yeah, I think these movies are both decent movies within their genre, but they're made even better by the B stories going on. I think the punks elevate Twice Dead to be a slightly above average haunted house movie, and I think all the weird James Bond stuff, assassinating the princess being possessed by an alien, that makes Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster stand out as a pretty above average Godzilla movie. I don't know if it's one of the 5 best, but it's probably one of the 10 best. I think it's a weirdly good double feature with those kind of aspects to them. I mean, they're very different movies overall, but I enjoyed those. I enjoyed those specific aspects to them.
It will play at our drive-in movie theater when we win the lottery and can make one.